Society is built on the male sex drive. Yes, thank you. Any male-female dynamic is designed to simultaneously extract as much value as possible out of that drive and keep the man in check and captured. Yes, that's why you want to know why the red pill is so dangerous to a gynocentric social order or a social order in general, or why religious people think that it's the devil. It's because it has the potential to upset that society. It has the potential to throw things off. As you were saying before, this male sex drive and the performance that is necessary, or used to be necessary to get, is no longer there. Pornography is making these guys listless and lazy, and I would 100% agree with you. 100% agree. It is a sedation. I keep said in the first part of Reignite, I said, I can't help you at all until you get unsedated. I can give you all the advice in the world. I can give you practical, actionable information, and it will mean jack shit to you if you can't get out of bed. It will mean nothing to you if all you're going to do is read it, close the book, and then go back to jerking. Read it, close a book, and pop pills, or smoke weed, or call Uber Eats, or play Call of Duty. What are you playing these days? What's the hot game? It's not Space Marine 2 anymore. That couldn't be Space Marine 2. But I can't do anything for you until you can get off your fucking ass. And you have to form new neural pathways. You have to habituate yourself to being the guy that gets to the gym, to being the guy that is more self-disciplined, and to be so for yourself. Not because you want to be a better husband for your wife, not because you want to be a more eligible bachelor for 34-year-old washout chick here. None of that, because you need to be the one that you improve for. And then shit will come. After that, the great thing about this is, like, if the red pill is about male empowerment and those guys get to a state of empowerment, that upsets the fucking apple cart, man. That upsets the system. Guys getting to, you want to know why guys will say, oh, those dudes over there, that's a group of gay guys. They think they're so modern. Look, they're all lifting together with their shirts off, whatever. I don't even know what the fuck that is, right? I don't care what the group is. The feeling behind that is threatening. Guys organizing is threatening. Guys talking together in groups about anything is threatening. You want to know why male space was such a big deal? Like right around September, October, we were having this conversation on male space, which is a conversation and a chapter after chapter. I've written about this dozens of times, and people don't get it. They think that, oh, well, men can go make whatever space they want to. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about pre-existing male spaces that women come into and destroy. That was what the conversation was about. But of course, what do they got to do? They got to ridicule it. They got to juvenilize it, right? Oh, these guys are just like little kids. They want a treehouse that says no girls allowed. The He-Man Woman Haters Club. Like it's this stupid cartoonsy idea. And then because they know that explaining it takes some time. It takes some understanding. You have to actually want to understand it to get the point of what male space is really about. But the reason why they're doing that, the reason why they ridicule it, is because they're scared of it. Because if guys get together, that's when shit happens. That's when fucking heads start cracking. That's when that's the threat. That's the threat point. So guys getting together to talk about guy things, hell, just to hang out, man. They want to infantilize it. They want to ridicule it. They want to say, "Oh, me big man." That's always a joke. It's in every fucking sitcom, for crying out loud, man. It's this constant pushing down of the masculine, constant. Because if guys get together, they're scared of what will happen. That's why they're scared of me. That's why they're scared of Mike. That's why they're scared of shows like this. That's why or mine or Access Big. They're scared that guys might get together, think better of themselves, for themselves, and organize and do something about it. That's what scares them shitless. And you know who else it scares shitless? It scares weak, lesser men too, who are effectively trying to identify with the feminine because they think that they're cuttlefish, right? They're sneaky fuckers. They think that if they identify with the feminine, then that's the key to getting pussy. And if they can ridicule guys and they can shit all over anything that's conventionally masculine, so be it. You want to know why your churches are empty? They're devoid of men right now. Like, I remember I said this before. Like, I think it was back in 2014, 2015. Like, there was this mass exodus of guys from church culture, whatever your church happens to be. And at some point, like, these men's ministry guys looked at, where are all the men in the congregation? And they're not. They're all in the manosphere. And I remember talking to these guys, and you know who you are. I remember talking to these guys and said, Rollo, how come the manosphere? Well, it was starting to become the manosphere. How come the red pill is so attractive to these guys? I said, because it's not hostile to conventional masculinity. If you go into those churches, it has been a hostile environment. Like, they don't want men to organize other than like men's Bible study. That's what they want. And they want to say, oh, you go on your men's retreat and pretend like you're in the movie 300. That's what they want you to do. Like, hey, carry a spirit. I'm gonna have a chest. Oh, feel good, honey? Yeah. Or I love this when you've got, it's usually like the Valentine's Day sermon. I can't wait for Valentine's Day. The Valentine's Day sermon is always like, ladies, God, just let him lead more. Allow him to lead. So what that's saying to what the message that's, if you're a pastor, by the way, if you say, ladies, let him lead a little bit. He needs to be the leader in the household. You got to let him lead. But we know who the real authority is, right? Nah, wink, wink, nod, nod, right? Because the fact that you're saying let or allow, or there's this sort of permissive, you giving him permission, it means that she's the one that's in authority to begin with. And the very fact that would seem like the more natural thing for like a guy who's supposed to be in a position of authority as the pastor of a church or something like that. The very fact that guy, that would come out of his mouth without him even thinking, that means it's sort of like subconsciously part of his psyche, that the woman is always the authority. The feminine is always correct. And they're not. They're not correct, as we can see. And the more we sit here and the more we sit on our fucking thumbs and the more we watch this shit happen, we're going to go, well, how women will be better if men were better? Well, then stop saying that. Stop telling a women that you're going to allow them to lead. That shouldn't even be a thought in your head. You know why it's a thought in your head? Because women are your mental point of origin, pastor, holy man, Mr. Christian. Women are your mental point of origin. Men need to do better. Why? Because women need eligible husbands, good Christian men husbands. No, they need to be better for themselves. That's what they need to be better for. And once we get past that hurdle, then maybe women can qualify for those really good guys instead of the other fucking way around. But you can't get there. You know why? Because women are your mental point of origin. Stop it. Just fucking stop it. And I don't care if you're Orthodox or Catholic or evangelical or whatever the fuck you happen to be. You could be Jewish. You could be Muslim. You could be Hindu. I don't care. If your mental point of origin is women, you are a disgrace to your fucking religion. You really are, because that's not in your book. That's not in your holy book. Your holy book says men are the authority over women. And damn near everyone that I researched when I was writing religion, my fourth book. I took a long time, so you got to appreciate that. As Cappy succinctly put it, society fighting against male sex drive. Yeah. Getting back to that, yeah, the male sex drive, I think was it Freud? I think Freud said all energy is sexual. And I don't mean like, ooh, energy. I mean, all motivation, all drive, all ambition is sexual. It distills back down to sexuality. Everything is about sex except sex. Sex is about power. But no, I think it was Freud who said that. The things that make a guy want to like invent a dishwasher. Well, eventually that guy wants to sell that stuff, make a lot of money so he can fucking get laid, have kids, and live comfortably, right? The guy who creates a computer, the guy who makes a virus, the guy who builds a skyscraper, the architect who does this. So like guys get into damn near every field, because they think they're going to be profitable enough at that field, because at some point they're going to want to get laid. right? So, is it me or is it the modern definition of a real man, someone who accepts responsibility without authority? That's the modern definition of it. Again, hold that thought, because I'm going to, when I get into turd flinging monkeys thing, we'll talk about that. There you go. And sometimes those nice women band together and turn against you, leaving you thinking, what the hell is going on? Thank you, Rolla, for your work, because in these situations, I think about the concept of the sisterhood. That blaming keeps me smiling. Yeah. Sisterhood uber alles. It does not matter what your religion is, does not matter what your nationality is, does not matter what your age is. The sisterhood will always have a different sense of solidarity than guys do. And it's much easier to isolate and atomize men than it will ever be for women. Because remember, women's psyche, or the way women organize society, is in the round. Egalitarianism makes all kinds of sense to women. They don't know where the resources come from, so they just distribute them. And so, you've got a big pile of money, let's distribute it, right? It's and by the way, that's a proven fact. I think it was it Steve Stewart Williams, or I have some research on how women, especially women in college, will want to ban. They essentially, like, the long and the short of it is that they would rather ban free speech or like limit people's right to speech for their own security, right? Or they would rather have have somebody who is sort of who says the wrong things not speak at a college, or not speak at all, in favor of inclusiveness, diversity. Men, on the other hand, do not agree with that. They tend to be more rational. They tend to be more democratic about things like that. So